Welcome back to Action News on KGDY. I'm Dirk Hardthrottle.
And I'm Kelly Sunbeam. And Metrodelphia is in the spotlight once again, dear listeners. It's Irwin time.
That's right. The University Awards will be presented tonight. This celebration of gossip and celebrity culture masked as awards for excellence in film will be taking the place of real news for the evening.
In other words, it's the best night ever. Awards have already been presented for some of the less high-profile categories. It's a pleasure to announce that Metrodelphia's own Mr. Theme Music has once again won the award for Best Score for his work on the action film Punch You into Orbit 5.
The celebrated citizen of Metrodelphia, Mr. Theme Music's work on Punch You into Orbit 5 was declared the winner over his work on Speed Dating 2, Stolen Kisses, Monkeys vs. Lemurs 3, The Madagascar Massacre, The Waterfall of Unending Splendor, Part 3, and Punch You into Orbit 4, which was released in the same year, and probably had the same plot. He was, in fact, the only individual nominated for his work for the 5th year in a row.
Way to keep that streak going, Mr. TM. The winner for Best Foreign Film has encountered considerable controversy this year. The Sommet de la Mort was originally created by the super-villain Count von Sheep and was designed to lull whomever viewed it into a permanent or semi-permanent coma. However, in the words of one reviewer,
in terms of pacing, dialogue, and just general heart, it's downright peppy compared to most of the art house films we're asked to sit through. The scene with the turtle swimming through the molasses pond might be 9 hours long, but it is at least heartwarming. We really had no choice but to nominate this film.
When Count von Sheep stepped forward to accept the award, 4 men in police uniforms moved to arrest him for crimes against, well, just about everything. These men were, however, imposters hired by another as-yet-to-be-determined supervillain. The fake police officers were arrested by the real Metrodelphia police force, which was also there at the time to arrest Count von Sheep. This has sparked a small protest outside of Precinct 7, where the Count was eventually taken into custody. The protesters say that the Count's right to free expression has been impinged upon, and rumors the protesters themselves were simply hired by the Count himself.
We interrupt this recap.
That's what that feels like.
I know, right? Anyway, we interrupt this recap for breaking news from our team at the awards, Sally Simpson and Sam Sterling.
Thanks, Dirk. It's actually just me at the moment. Sam Sterling and many of the celebrities and event staff have been delayed. There was apparently a malfunction in the satellites providing GPS location to the site. When we arrived at what we believed to be the location of the famous Colossal Theater, we found instead an empty lot and signs informing us of the mistake and directing us to a different location. I've been a Metrodelphia native all my life, and I would have sworn this isn't where the Colossal was located, but I am standing outside of its majestic doors as we speak.
This was the breaking news we interrupted for?
Still stings, doesn't it?
It really does.
Not at all, Kelly. The breaking news is this. As I arrived at the red carpet just in time for the celebrities to arrive, a shadowy figure appeared in a dark cloak, which she quickly shed, revealing herself to be none other than the Performinator.
The D-list actress who was panned by the critics because of her complete lack of talent and turned to a life of crime in a desperate bid for attention of any sort?
The one and only. Let me just move a bit closer for more information. Excuse me, the Performinator. Can I get a statement?
Sally, how are you, you dear thing? I haven't seen you in, it's been 2 years? Back at the journalist convention where you were doing a seminar on protocol for kidnapped reporters.
And you tried to poison all the meteorologists so as to have a chance to be a weather lady on Channel 9? Yes, I think that was the last time we ran into each other. So would you mind telling our listeners what brings you by?
Oh, I'd be delighted. Quite simply, I'm here for revenge.
Revenge?
Against her.
Radio.
Oh, right. Against her. Cassidy LaRue.
Yes, listeners, the Performanator is indicating famed actress Cassidy LaRue in contention today for Best Actress for her role in the most recent biopic of Mary Todd Lincoln.
A role she stole from me. I killed at that audition.
Literally, or...
What? No. I didn't kill anyone for like a week after that, when my agent called me with the news. Then I went and killed my agent. But the point is that part should have been mine. I warned you what would happen if you dared showed your face here.
Wait, those threatening letters came from you? That explains so much. Thank you. The signature was illegible.
I was still partially in character. Mary Todd Lincoln was famous for her bad handwriting.
Who told you that? Oh my gosh. Hang on, I remember you now. You're the one who did the audition in a Jamaican accent.
It was Italian.
Okay, 1, no it wasn't. And 2, that doesn't explain things any better.
Mary Todd was of Italian descent. Any schoolgirl knows that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure no schoolgirl knows that because it's not true. And even if it were, she didn't have an accent.
Well, a strong choice is better than no choice at all.
Sally, what an amazing turn of events. The Performanator hasn't interrupted the Irwin ceremony in at least 3 years. Can you tell us more details?
Certainly, Kelly. The Performanator is clearly well armed with what, as near as I can figure, is either a shrink ray or a hypersonic stun cannon. Security is giving her a wide berth as she
No, Sally. We need the important details. Who is Cassidy LaRue wearing? There was a rumor that she'd be wearing something from the Harmonia collection, but we need confirmation.
There's no obvious label, Kelly, and I'm a little hesitant to step into the line of fire just to determine her designer. It's a well-tailored full-length gown in gold with silver sleeves and a bejeweled red wrap.
Can you just take a moment, just a moment, to ask her who she's wearing?
I suppose. But Miss LaRue, there's some curiosity among our listeners. Apparently. I know this might not be a good time, but who are you wearing?
I think it's a great time, Sally. She's wearing me.
Oof.
And don't forget me.
Listeners, in a surprising turn of events, it appears the question of who is she wearing can be answered literally. While identification of a shape changer is always a challenging prospect, my keen reporter's senses tell me that Cassidy LaRue was wearing a garment made from those sensational shifters, Max Morpher and his sister Polly of Transformation.
You bet your boots, Sally.
We're some of Cassidy's biggest fans, so when she started receiving those threatening letters, we knew we had to help.
And help they have indeed. With a quick series of attacks, they have brought down the curtain on the Performanator, while leaving Miss Cassidy LaRue standing in front of a swath of photographers while wearing her skivvies. Miss LaRue, any comments for our listeners?
Well, I'm definitely grateful to Polly and Max. This was the kind of thing no one ever wants to have to prepare for. Also, Max, by the way, was a complete gentleman while I was wearing him. And,
Would you like to borrow my coat?
yes, please?
Come on, little brother. Let's get this nut job to the authorities.
That was thrilling. Thank you so much, Sally. You heard it here first, listeners. Cassidy LaRue with a truly one-of-a-kind gown.
And a supervillain thwarted before her evil scheme could be brought to fruition, potentially saving hundreds of lives.
Yeah, that too. So, now on to more from the Irwin Awards. Sam Sterling, how are things looking from your end?
Hi, Kelly. I'm sorry to report I've run into a bit of a snag. I came to the Colossal Theater by cab, and like so many others, I found I'd managed to arrive at the wrong location due to the apparent error with the GPS satellites. It took me nearly 20 minutes to find another cab.
Couldn't you have shared a cab with Sally Simpson?
I had that idea, Dirk, and I ran up to join her, and I managed to trip over her outstretched leg. I'm guessing she didn't hear me screaming at her to please wait, and she hopped into a cab and took off like a shot.
Nothing gets between Sally and a story.
Indeed not. Anyway, when I arrived at the Colossal, I found my ticket and my press pass were missing. I must have left them in one of the cabs.
Wait, you can't get into the theater?
Not so far, Kelly.
There's no one there who recognizes you?
Not really, Dirk. I guess that has a lot to do with being a radio reporter. I just sort of look like any other mild-mannered man.
Okay, well, sorry to hear it, Sam. We gotta get back to the action. Sally, how are things?
Well, having loaned my coat to Cassidy LaRue, it's gotten quite chilly. Thankfully, with all the delays in arrival, the event coordinators have decided they'll need to cut the red carpet ceremony if they want to start on time.
They did what?
So they've herded everyone with a ticket into the theater. The opening ceremonies will start in just a few minutes. I've just gotten inside, and not a moment too soon as the doors are closing.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please allow me to welcome you all. You are now within the realm of your nightmares, the zone of your terror, and most of all, the home to my revenge!
Well, that certainly doesn't bode well. Nor does the fact that the walls of the Colossal Theater seem to be transforming before our eyes into a mass of obsidian spikes with glowing crimson inlays which spell out the word revenge. As a long-term first-hand observer of evil schemes and mass abductions, I can assure our listeners that whomever this mysterious villain may be, he has a keen eye for aesthetics. This plot is done with style.
Listeners, our own Sally Simpson and most of Hollywood's hoi polloi appear to be trapped inside of the Colossal Theater with a mysterious villain who has an unknown grudge.
They canceled the red carpet?
We'll be back with more details right after this.
This is Mr. Belligerent.
You want to make something of it?
He has the power to turn anything into an argument.
Yeah? What's it to you?
Last week, Mr. Belligerent was chasing down a murderous nanny.
Was chasing. Then the Spatmobile lost the wheel and the au pair got away. Are you trying to say I'm not good at my job?
But there's one thing Mr. Belligerent can't argue with.
Don't bet on it.
He's very happy he switched to stuck-in-a-rut auto insurance.
Wait, what?
They offer 24-hour service, so you can speak to a representative right away.
Sure.
Their special superhero discounts mean you don't pay extra for the nuclear-powered jets you installed on the Spatmobile.
This I grant you?
Your policy covers up to 60 days rental on a military-grade replacement vehicle while repairs are being made.
I mean, a tank would be nice to help me deal with the nanny.
And all of this at prices up to 40% less than other insurance.
Well, sure, but...
But what?
You know what? You're absolutely right. When it comes to stuck-in-a-rut auto insurance, even I can't argue with that.
Stuck-in-a-Rut Auto Insurance, a division of Corpomart.
Hi, I'm Captain Magnifico. Thank you for your interest in joining the Spectacular Seven, the world's finest fighters of fearsome foes. Name?
I am the Human Elastic Band.
Powers?
I am a Human Elastic Band.
I see. Well, we were looking for a super speedster.
But when I stretch myself out and use my body as a slingshot, I can move quite fast.
Super fast?
Well, not really, but it's very fast, I assure you.
I'm not so sure this will be a good fit for us.
No, wait. Let me show you. I'll just grab onto this desk here, and then roll back on this chair.
Sir.
It'll work, trust me. I've done this dozens of times.
Successfully?
There's always hope.
Oh, bother.
Did you know 70% of open auditions to join a super team ended with a supervillain infiltrating the group and attempting to tear them apart from the inside? There's a better way to get the applicants you need to fill the vacancies on your super team's roster. Call, hire, and faster. We use the latest computer analysis to make sure the heroes you see are the heroes you need. And we're the only hero recruitment firm in the country with access to some of the most powerful prognosticators in the business. They're so skilled at their work, If you call and we don't know who you are and what you need before you tell us, your service is free. Guaranteed.
Just a little further.
You really don't have to.
Here I go!
Hello? Is this higher and faster?
Hello, Captain Magnifico. I've pulled up our files on some super speedsters. I think we have a great candidate who should be available to start immediately.
Call higher and faster today. We save you time, so you can save the city.
Do you validate parking?
And now, over to traffic with our eye in the sky, Chopper Pete.
Thanks, Dirk. Traffic between the Colossal Theater and the location GPS said was the Colossal Theater has been pretty brutal today. Between the celebrity visitors and all the Metrodelphians hoping to catch a glimpse of them, well, I won't say the roads are impassable, but if you're anywhere in the uptown streets of Metrodelphia, I wouldn't plan on getting out anytime soon. Also, over on East Marston Boulevard, there's still a small amount of traffic around an incident which is now cleared up. That famous Metrodelphian hero who gets his powers from watching romantic comedies was in a battle with the Tanner brothers. He finally managed to defeat them by crossing the street and removing the second brother's magical leather cape.
So you're saying Chick Flick Man crossed the road?
To get to the other Hyde. Exactly, Kelly. Back to you.
And now, over to retired superhero, the Countess of Clouds, with the weather.
And lo! This night has been mild, and the skies have stayed clear. But as the clock strikes 10, shall the bitter winds bring forth a cold snap, and the clouds shall rain down sleet and freezing rain. The temperature shall drop well into the teens, but only briefly. By morning we shall be back into the 40s with light winds. So let it be!
Countess, this is all happening at 10? That's when the Irwin Awards are set to end and everyone will be leaving the awards. Ice and sleet and wind, just as all the celebrities exit the theater. I mean, assuming whatever death trap has been sprung doesn't destroy them all. But why does that awful weather have to hit right at that moment?
While I'm a retired superhero, I still punish crimes. And the fact that Lena De Silvia was not even nominated for her performance in Loving the Alien was a crime of the first order.
Okay, let's move on, shall we? How about we head over to Heidi Bravado with Sports Summary. Howdy, Heidi.
Hi, Dirk. Metrodelphia sports fans might still be a little gloomy these days. Football fans will have to wait until next season to try for the championships. The Metrodelphia Gamma Rays made it into the playoffs for the first time in 12 years. And as you know, we lost to the Hypertown Hippos by a score of 97-1.
Remind me again how we scored 1 point in a football game?
There was some controversy, of course, but during a field goal, only a third of the ball made it through the goal post when kicker Harry Skookum kicked it so hard it tore itself apart. Harry has repeatedly denied that he is, in fact, a Sasquatch, and genetic tests have so far been inconclusive.
Yes, well, we're still a little ways from spring training.
Assuming the Metrodelphia Comets ever escape from that temporal vortex.
So what's up with the Metrodelphia Mutants?
Well, basketball season is winding down, and with a 6-60 record, it doesn't look like the playoffs are in our future. However, some recent news might bring a smile to Metrodelphia's fans. There's been rumors for weeks that Donald Bounce, the lead scorer for the Sin City Abbots for the past 6 years, is ready to make a change. He's here in Metrodelphia tonight, and I'm excited to say he's agreed to an interview with me. Donald, I know you might not be able to give us all the details, but will we be seeing more of you in Metrodelphia?
There's no doubt, Heidi. I always thought of Metrodelphia as a second home of sorts, so there's no place I'd rather be, now that I'm retiring.
Retiring?
Oh, of course. I want to go out while I'm still on top, and the worst thing in the world would be the temptation to get back into the game. That's why this is the best town ever, right? I mean, there's no way a Mutants fan is going to be inspired to play more basketball. Know what I mean?
So, Dirk, I think we'll just pass this one back to you and Kelly.
Sorry, Heidi. Well, Kelly, it looks like it's time to check in with the University Awards. Certainly, we hope everyone is safe at the Colossal Theater.
I'm sure they're fine, and we can get back to the awards. Sally, Captain Goody's been there and gone, and we can get back to the awards by now, right?
Well, actually...
Last year, Connie Heartfire said Shinestar wasn't an actress, but a freak of nature. Now they're supposedly sitting at the same table this year. Can you confirm that?
Nobody's actually sitting.
Oh, have you been able to talk to John Whitson? He's on record as saying he thought he had Best Supporting Actor in the bag this year.
Kelly! Last time I looked, John Whitson was carried off by a gargoyle with glowing eyes.
Wait. What?
That was after the dinosaur skeletons, then the six-legged weasels and the giant floating scorpion tail. Each time they dragged several of the stars off into the walls of the theater where they seemed to be absorbed into the walls themselves.
And no superhero has come to help yet? We should already be looking at Best Supporting Actress in a Comedy. Sally, what is going on?
Well, currently, a gigantic hand made out of light has appeared out of thin air.
No! This one is coming for me! I already had to deal with one crazy villain tonight. I don't want to die wearing this ugly coat.
As you can tell, Cassidy LaRue will not be winning any awards for gratitude this year. But as she mentioned, the hand of light is coming toward her and...
Oh my god, get back!
And she has decided to pick up a chair and try to fight the construct off.
Ow!
And as anyone probably could have told her would have happened, the chair passed harmlessly through the hand, and she slammed it onto the floor.
I jammed my hand, and I think I broke a nail.
Is that... Sally, am I hearing what I think I am?
Indeed, Kelly. It's the theme music of Metrodelphia's greatest hero and my date next Friday night. Captain Goody is here!
All right. That's enough. I said, that's enough.
Ah, Captain Goody. So good of you to join me.
Listeners, the handmaid of light has transformed into a gigantic blue-skinned humanoid creature with fire in its eyes.
You will not interfere with my plans.
I wasn't going to, but then people started getting hurt. As long as all you were doing was scaring some people, I figured I could let them decide if they wanted to take you to court or not. But this has gone quite far enough.
You'll never stop me.
Captain, are you all right?
Not even a scratch, Sally. Don't worry, I'm in no danger here.
Do you really?
I'm just going to stop you there. You can either stop this and come out, or I can come to get you. If I have to come get you, something might get broken.
You wouldn't.
Captain, what are you talking about?
The likelihood of an unfortunate amount of property damage, Sally.
Wait. Don't break anything, please. It took me forever to put this together.
Listeners, the blue-skinned form is frozen in place, while a young man with sallow skin, a spotty complexion, and bloodshot eyes has appeared out of the walls.
Thanks for that.
Why don't you introduce yourself to Sally and all her listeners?
I'm David Zippel, and I've pioneered the next great wave of special effects.
Really? How does your power work?
Oh, for heaven's sake, I don't have a superpower. I know the industry relies on shapeshifters and light-projecting superheroes for the majority of our special effects. But my new hologram technology will revolutionize the field. Anyone can use this tech, and you don't need to hire the few people lucky enough to have superpowers.
Hologram technology?
Oh yeah, here, look!
Listeners, I find my surroundings have changed completely. Where once I was in the ominously transformed walls of the Colossal Theater, I now find myself outside in what appears to be an empty lot with a few tables and chairs set up.
I first suspected something was amiss when the GPS sent everyone to the wrong address. My Goody vision was able to pierce the illusion back at the real Colossal Theater.
The real theater?
Exactly. I set up a projection of the vacant lot and the signs pointing this way. It was a lot easier to get the major holograms to function inside a controlled area.
And I waited outside until I was sure I was really needed.
But what happened to the celebrities who were pulled into the walls?
I shuffled them around the back and had them call their agents to see if we can negotiate using them in the film I was shooting. I plan to submit it for next year's awards.
And speaking of awards, come on, Sally. We'd better get going to the real Colossal.
What's the hurry, Captain Goody?
Well, everyone is standing in an open lot, and if I know the Countess of Clouds... Let's get you to the Colossal. Remember, you don't have your coat.
Thank you, Captain.
You're always welcome, Sally.
Kelly, Dirk, I seem to be the first one back at the Colossal Theater, so I'll await the rest of...
Not quite the first, Kelly.
Sam Sterling?
I came back here to see if I could find my press pass.
And did you?
Kind of embarrassing, but it turns out it was in my other pocket the whole time.
Well, we'll keep our eyes peeled as the rest of the attendees begin to arrive. But for the moment, back to you in the studio.
Oh, I'm glad you're both okay. But this is a disaster. The ceremony should have started already, and there's no way they'll be able to make the broadcast schedule work.
And since we're not the television network that's going to have to bend time and space to keep their sponsors happy, that's not our problem.
Ah. Yeah, you're right.
I usually am. We'll have news from a very damp red carpet soon, listeners, but for now, I'm Dirk Hardthrottle.
And I'm Kelly Sunbeam. And remember,
if you're not wearing tights, stay out of the fight.
Stay tuned, Metrodelphia.
You have been listening to KGDY, Episode 11, produced by Seat of Our Pants players, written and directed by Dan Wenzel. Dirk was Rick Tennant. Kelly was Brianna Kuby. Sally was Jill Wenzel. The Performinator and Higher and Faster Psychic were Andy Gastingy. Cassidy LaRue and the insurance voiceover were Dana Bonner Andreessen. The reviewer, Polymorpher, and the Countess of Clouds were Liz Music. Heidi Bravado and the Higher and Faster spokesperson were Rebecca Scheimer. The Ominous Voice and the Human Elastic Band were Ray Greenlee. Max Morpher, Captain Magnifico, and Donald Bounce were Aaron Manka-White. Mr. Belligerent and Chopper Pete were Andrew Dell, and Captain Goody and his alter ego were Dan Wenzel. News theme and Take a Chance by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com, licensed by Creative Commons under Attribution 3.0. Other music and sound effects by www.freesfx.co.uk. Thanks for listening, citizens. Tune in next time.